Hey Galax here. Today I want to go through some of the things you should be doing, or all the things. I don't know. I'm not gonna say all because there's always, what else? What about? Stupid intro. The things you should be doing in Most Feared right now. There's gonna be some Market Monday type of content in here with rerolls, sets, that kind of stuff. We'll explain all of that too. But Most Feared. You got on it. You might have already played it for a couple days. You don't know house rules, solos. One tip about the Cauldron I want to talk about through the challenges. There is an easy way of doing the Cauldron. Instead of having to basically go into here into the Cauldron, you got to score your touchdown, and then you got to not let them get a touchdown. You can basically on the 2-point conversion dance with your quarterback. The show off, was it left trigger and A, I think is it. Show off. And then get the fumble forced against you, and the turnover or throw an interception will end the Cauldron right there. So a little quicker way of stopping that. I've seen that in Twitch chat. I think it was on Reddit too. But that's a good way of beating the Cauldron quickly. So just I want to say that out there as a way to get through one of those 10 things you can do a day on the Cauldron for the solos. Otherwise, house rules. It is way too much. It is something I think you should do the Cauldron. Kind of focus on the challenges and solos first to get those things before you go into the house rules. This house rules it's 75 of them. It's way too long. I know there is other additions to the but the heck, it just messed me up. I wanted to get in there and see it. There are other ways, like by getting a certain number of wins. Every 10 wins you get 20 trophies, 10,000 coins, stuff like that. But really, I think EA messed up on the house rules. I know it's a week long, but man, it is a lot. Even though the house rules are kind of fun. House rules, I've had a lot of fun the last 2 days just playing house rules, and it kicked us out to the loading screen. Anyways, back onto coins. All right, the stuff you're kind of looking at. You could be playing Weekend League if you want to. Here are the win rewards. I guess 15 you get a uniform, but every 10 wins right here, 20 trophies, 10,000 coins. It's not bad. Some people haven't realized the quit meta yet. Like if you let up a score, just quit, move on to the next game if it's going to be a tough game. You don't want to play these games in the fourth quarter. You'd rather have the games last less than a quarter. So get in, get out. That's kind of the meta to house rules. So what to do with bats, training, so on and so forth, and what I can see for the promo going forward. So, all right, there's a big hubbub about limiteds coming, and if they're gonna come, or they're not gonna come, whatever it is. If limiteds come, what's gonna happen to the market? Well, I think people will be rolling for limited time cards in this store, and even with set 2. Remember in promos of past, sometimes when set 2 comes, the alternate currency goes up in price, okay? So you guys know, I feel like I'm all over the place right now. You guys know I have this training spreadsheet. It should be linked in the description. Below it, I have the most feared part for bats and prices and stuff. Everything from like E over is for like other stuff, for like flashbacks, heavyweights, that kind of stuff. So that you can ignore. But basically looking at these sets right here, most feared, coins per roll, for coins per bat. Basically, in the past, we've been able to use these coins per bat for reroll sets. A lot of these sets are very similar in price for the rerolls. If you take a look at, let's say, the 92 rerolls, 5.66. So if you buy cheap 88s, roll it into 92s. It's actually not that good because 4 times, say, 4 88s is... So 4 88s for 12,000 bats, you can reroll 192. Cost you 252. What are 90s going for right now? 254. So there's no profit there, unfortunately, 3 rolls. There might be a little here on the low end, but you see how low the prices are? It's almost like too tedious and not worth it. So while there is a little bit of profit there, if you sell, you wait your hour for it to sell in the market. Sure, you can make a little bit, but I don't know. The 77 to 81 is about the only one that's profitable right now. EA's gotten better at squeezing the profit out of these sets, especially or out of these rerolls, especially with the tokens and the collectibles going into sets now. That really does fuck us up too. So that's very sad that they've basically learned how to take the profit out of these rerolls. But the 77 and 81 is the only one that's pretty close to it. But again, like I say, it's very tedious. You reroll the 81s or quick sell the 81s, then sell the 77, 79s on the block. I don't know. Maybe try it yourself if you're okay with it, but you can only sell 20 at a time, and I don't know if the profit, the juice is worth the squeeze. Rather be just playing like house rules or solos or something like that with your time. For the 92 overall, mostly, I appreciate this. Back to those limited times. Now, if the limited time cards are 92 overall, I can see a ton of people pulling this right here. If the limited times, and I don't know if there's limited times or not. I'm just speculating. Maybe there will be next week. Maybe we'll get a scary, fast, scary, thick, or scary, tall, scary, strong. That's the one. Scary, strong. Scary, fast, scary, strong, scary, sharp, limiteds. I don't know. Maybe we'll get 3 of them. People might be doing this reroll set, which would be kind of fun. There's no Nat set this year to debate people versus last year. The other thing that I can see, training dipped yesterday because of those make rights. It absolutely floored. I really hope you guys were there with me on twitch.tv/GutFox when this was happening. MUT Heroes, because of the MUT Hero reroll set, people were pulling a ton of these things. Where was it? Training currencies. A ton of these 99.91s absolutely cratered the market, converting their training into coins. All right? So training cratered, and it's on its way back up. And the reason why we think it's back up, and it could go even further if we could say limiteds or even round 2, these things could go up as people pull the 77 overall most feared pack. Because if you remember, when the promo first launched before the make rights, training actually went up slightly because people were doing this reroll set, because there was demand for training. So I can see that going up in the next few days, especially if we get limited time cards that are valuable. Like say we get a scary fast Tyreek Hill that's like stock 93 speed. You can power it up to 94, so on and so forth. Like that will be well demanded. A ton of packs will be ripped from the 77 overall most feared reroll set. So training could potentially go up. So my advice to you all is, if you have a lot of training, I would not liquidate right now. If you have cards, maybe wait till tomorrow, maybe wait till Monday-ish, and who knows, maybe round 2 ends up lowering the value of bats if the cards are terrible. But generally round 2 of most feared is better. So that way, or the round 2 of the promo is better, so we could foresee a little bit of bats going up in price. Now, round 2 we think might be next Thursday, which is a long ways away, right? There's going to be a few different things between now and then that could also move the market down. So you could sit there saying, well, hey, maybe right now market's a little higher than I think it's going to go, or think than it's going to be. So then maybe you sell off, buy in a couple days. I don't know. That seems a little complicated to me. Basically, what I'm doing, I'm saving my bats now for round 2. I'm not moving on. I also have kind of like fully engaged with the promo. I got Ray Lewis already in my team, so that helps me. I'm saving my training. I'm not converting it into coin right now. I think it's okay to be sitting on a bunch of training at the moment, and I would not divest yourself of training, because I can see this very specific set. I've seen a few videos. A lot of people having luck. I didn't have the greatest luck with it. Wait, where's my finger? There it is. Up my nose. I've seen a lot of people have some luck. I didn't have a lot of luck with it. I did. I'll show it to you. I'll show you my reroll set. So I did a bunch of rerolls myself. I did the 77 to 81 reroll set. I pulled 17 77s, 21 79s, and 12 81s. You can see them right here. And then I started a couple more, but I didn't include them. So basically, those are my reroll sets for the 77 to 81. Some people said they pulled 33% for each. As for that training reroll, I apologize. Am I going too fast? Am I moving on topics too fast? As for the training reroll, the 77 plus, here are my pulls. So I pulled, some people have gotten really good. I pulled, let me look at the numbers, 19 77s. I pulled 15 79s, 12 81s, and 4 85s. I ended up losing training on that. I ended up losing like quote unquote value on it. But it wasn't bad at all. It's not a bad training reroll set. So that's why I'm kind of optimistic about the training market going forward the next few days, especially if we get limited time cards. So that's kind of like what my thinking is going forward for the next, for most feared. Kind of what you just do. Kind of just like sit on it, let the market maybe recover from that big training influx that people converted over to both MUT Heroes and most feared. So what should you be doing on the market right now? Well, the market is always ripe for snipes. Now, we're going into a Sunday, which means fewer packs are pulled. It's our last day for Joe Thomas, who's still crazy. People still spending that kind of coins on a 93 overall left tackle. But I think a really good part is maybe there's some stragglers still pulling MUT Heroes, do that training reroll. Maybe they still have it in their things. But it feels like that day is over. Like these 90 overalls are up for like 150 right now, I believe. 150 straight up. Like these yesterday, I was buying at like 118 when the market bottomed out. So yes, the market's definitely back up. Do I see them going up tremendously? I don't know. Like it's hard to predict what EA's got planned for this next week because we got 2 weeks until Halloween. Maybe the limit is to come 2 weeks from now, right? The 31st of the enragement period is so far away that maybe even saying we got some limiteds is just too much of a speculation this early, because limiteds you'd think would come out closer to Halloween. So part 2 next Thursday, maybe it's a normal week and we don't see a lot of that. Part 2 maybe is the portion that rises the training market. For the reroll set, that rises the bats as people are converting bats into cards for the sets. So now let's take a look at the sets here. This was very disappointing. I think as consumers, because there were so many issues with Madden this past few days, we really didn't get into the shit about all these collectibles. these collectibles helped like make this a very hard promo to what's the word I'm looking for? Profit off of. Now, sure, okay. One thing I will say, you can make these Earl Thomases, these guys, by rolling this set in the store and choosing your own thing slightly cheap, like 20 bats cheaper than just rolling a random 92. Sure, that's fine, whatever. It's small, but like the time it's going to take you to roll perceptions, it is what it is. I think the best way of doing this is when you get your perceptions from engaging with the game, solos, that kind of stuff. That's when you want to do these sets and finish it off through those reroll sets. But don't go into it blank like I have it right here and reroll them all. That's just, I feel like, just a waste of time. You're not going to really profit too much. But sadly, I'm disappointed. I hope EA doesn't go forward with more collectibles for sets. This just sucks. I can't believe they went back to this. I don't know why the economists maybe want to try us again. There was like riots a few years ago when we kept getting collectibles that we put in these sets. So hopefully they will go with players going forward. It's not like we have a lack of 77s and 79s on the market right now that could have been used for these very same sets. So the Master set, the Cauldron, like the Vita Vase sets, this kind of stuff, like not having these borders auctionable, they don't really drop out of packs for the solos that often either, which is very frustrating. But right now, I guess Vita's what, 90, and then what's the image costing? Vita right now, wow, actually 120. So he's down about half the price of what he was yesterday. So Vita's falling. Ray Lewis is at 400K, as you can see back on the spreadsheet for him. 424 for Ray Lewis, which I feel like is a good price for him. He was a game changer. He caused a lot of fumbles. Check out my second channel for gameplay. I'll try and put it out tomorrow morning. Put out Cam Newton gameplay today on the second channel. So there you go. I kind of went over most of what else did I got to do? Training went up at the start of the promo. Oh, yeah. I talked about 92 overall versus 93 overall limiteds if they come out. The 92 overall reroll set would be really cool then. I hope they do that. I hope they do 92 overall limiteds if they do them. Did I say do? Training spreadsheet and bats. Sets are collectibles. Save the bats for round 2. And, oh yeah, if you guys want to know the cycle, like how to convert things over. So I got a couple questions. I want to say a ton because it seems very self-evident. So you convert training into bats. It's kind of like the cycle of Mutt with all these different, we got to kind of know it. The cycle of Mutt, how to convert one training to another. You convert training into bats through this thing. You convert bats into coins by either these reroll sets. There's no direct way to go bats to coins bats to training to my knowledge. But you go bats to coins, and then you buy the cards off the auction house with coins to get training. So that's a cycle, kind of like the water cycle. Gas to water to gas to solid. I guess ice would make it solid. We're way off the tracks now, but training to bats, bats to coins, coins to training by buying cards on the auction house and quick selling them. There's your little cycle of system. So there you go. Watch my video yesterday if you want to know how to win house rules with one play touchdowns. But that's it for today. Kind of want to talk about my thoughts going forward. I would not engage with any of these re-rolls to try and make profits like I showed you on the spreadsheet, as they're just not crazy profitable with the bats, except for maybe this small one. But again, time is money in this game. There you go. Sad boy. You make me feel so bad. Yeah, I mean, could you maybe do? I don't know. Snipe these things. Do the exchange set. No, not really. There's no different. It's not different than just buying it off the auction house for $254 than sniping it there. Feels sad, man. All right, dudes. Of course, if you snipe, you snipe, and you guys know how to do that already, don't you? Thanks for watching Call to Action. I'll see you tomorrow.